Why you didn't make the video?
Well, I made one and I used bed frame.
Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California. It's in the morning and the sun is coming out. This is the original dog kennel and I'm still working on it. I'm not done with it, though I have plants growing in it. I've got thyme, I've got mushroom plant, I've got some lettuce starting in there, but let's get to what is going on and updates. The tunnel is still here, the vertical garden, and he is getting ready to move it. As you can see, the raised beds are gone. They're not here anymore. That's been moved. Now what he's going to do is he's going to start to remove the hoops one by one and get it to where he needs. The thing is, I ordered 2 kennels and they've just arrived, and we're going to have to set them up here, but I'm not sure where I want them yet. And that will do once this is all gone. I'm not sure if I want to leave those chairs because I actually love this. It's all set up and I can still grow in here, and each one is an individual. It's set up far different than I've ever set the chairs up before. See how they're facing differently? I always set them up side by side. This time they're set up face to face. They're still separate, so I still have control over each individual tote completely, but it's kind of a different setup. And I might leave this and have him move this over a little bit for the kennel so I can still walk behind it, and I want it completely freestanding. Now, where are those raised beds that were here? He did move them, and there they are. Let's go take a walk and look at them because I'm really excited with this. Not only do they look nice, this is going to make gardening so much easier. Anytime I have a tote, my tote garden, on a chair or off the ground, I now have eliminated a lot of critters, especially rabbits. We have tons of rabbits here. We have a lot of other things here too, squirrels. So I've eliminated, let's say, half the squirrels who don't want to jump. No, I'm going to have to say more like 75%. Very few actually will jump because they don't know what's in there. And then the ones that do jump, all I have to do is cover it with tulle or make an encasement around it. You know, one year, I don't know if you want to go back and look at the videos. I can't remember which year it was. It wasn't this year. So it might have been last year or the year before. I actually ran from that chair all the way along a tulle fence. Just stuck in some tomato stakes and ran a fence, and that kept everything out. And everything that grew was all mine. And as it got really big, I just took it down and I serviced it and picked tons of vegetables out of it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but see those totes in between? Those are being moved and they're going to go here. So everything is going to be used. Oh, look, we already have a visitor. Well, not a visitor. He's decided this is his. Look at a blue-bellied lizard. He says, oh, this is great. Off he goes. Let me tell you something. If you ever are trying to stick sticks in totes or pots or buckets because your lizards, if you have blue bellies, get stuck, use something like a 2x4 because they can't climb a stick. When I say that, if you had a narrow branch, I don't see any branches here. They can't climb this because their legs are on the side. Their legs aren't underneath. So they need something wide to grip. So just remember that and you'll be good to go. That's why he loves this, because he likes it wide, the 2x4s. There's the last chair that's been buried underneath the trees. I'm so excited because I bought all these brown chairs. I didn't have to paint them from a thrift store. They were really cheap. They were like $2-3 a piece. And that was about 3 years ago. And I said, I want them. It's maybe 4 years ago when I saw them. No, I don't think it's been that long. And I lined them all up here because all my totes originally were on the ground. And I wanted to go up, down, up, down. I'm going to change that. I've got all those totes, and I think I'm going to keep a space in between. The more space I have here, the more food I'll grow. It sounds crazy, but it will be too open for squirrels to come running. And we have a lot of ground squirrels. It's not the tree squirrels I have problems with. It's what's called ground squirrels. I'm going to leave the meadow. Let them have that because they love their meadow. You've got all kinds of animals that come to that, so that will stay. But in between, for now, I can always go back and put totes later. I'm going to go ahead and put them there. But doesn't that look nice? I think this is the setup I'm going to go for this. And then I don't have to stand all the time. If I wanted to sit and kind of fiddle with it or do something, I can sit. It's all raised. It's off the ground. I don't have to worry about gophers. I can control snails. I can control ants if I needed to. I can control everything. and add in my Tulle, Tulle, and I'm good to go. I'm back to growing everything I want. Too close makes everything too, close for things to go back and forth. Giving it a little space, I'm in control of each individual garden. Now, of course, I could put plants on the bottom, like onions. These are walking onions. And then I won't have anything getting in there because very few things eat the onions. But I think this is going to be a good way to do it. Let's get those totes up there. Use my last chair that I never used and just was sitting, as you can see. Just give it a good hose and it'll be nice and clean, and put a tote on there. And then we can have all this going. I'm going to get this all set up starting immediately. Cleaning up the ground, cleaning up plants that need to be trimmed, everything thrown in there and forgotten. Come spring, I'll be ready to go. Now, when Gary went ahead and put this here, he leveled the ground. And he said there was a lot of soil that looked really good. In fact, I can see a lot of it still does look good. So there'll be all kinds of stuff wanting to grow in it. So I took a lot out, buckets of it, and I planted up some potted plants. And then he put a little bit more in here because he said it was so full of earthworms and things. Oh, this is what I was saying on the lizard. They can't climb this. Their legs are too wide and they can't go in. Just remember that. So I'm going to go ahead and use that probably on the top, or mix it in with weeds, because all this has to go. See all the dead tomato plants in there and the sow thistle that's gone. I might keep the seed heads to plant more. All this will be going in empty totes. And when I put that in on the bottom, then I can top it with a little soil, and the microbes and the earthworms and everything will break it down. But I wanted to give you an update today of what was going on. Well, let me explain what these are. This was a frame off a furnace that we had in the house years ago. I didn't put it in. It was there. It wasn't working. So when they took the furnace out, oh, this is heavy. Let me change this because there's soil in here. Let me show you this. I said, I want that. See? I said, wait a minute, I have a use for that. So I said, give me that, leave that there. And they took the furnace when we were working here. And so I kept that, and that's strong. That's going to hold 3 totes with those cement blocks. Perfect. Now this is a bed frame that Gary built with scrap 2x4s. He found the bed frame, look at this, steel, in the trash. He brought it home and he put this together. He actually made a video of doing it. When he was done with it and he set it on the bricks, he said he's not putting the video up. And I said, why? He said, I'm not going to bother putting it together because he burnt through so many cutting things that he had to use. I forgot what he said. I don't know if it was his blades, but there were so many things. He said that it's too hard, the steel, to work with. So he made the one. He said, go ahead and use it. He didn't have a use for it right now. And that's why he never made the video. Gary, do you want to explain on the bed why you didn't make the video?
Well, I made one, and I used bed frame, and the bed frame is hardened steel. So the self-tapping screws got blunt, and then the drills that I tried to use got blunt, and it was going to cost too much money to continue doing it that way. If I had a welder, I would have been able to weld it, but I had to use the tools that I've got.
Okay, but it worked.
It worked. I made one, and it worked, but it was pointless making any more.
Okay, so you're not making any more. All right, well, I'm using that one. All right, well, thank you for explaining that.
Okay.
This should hold, let's see, that one holds 3. I would say 4 totes will be good. Now, when they're butted up close, again, you lose a little bit control because you don't have the space, but I can still cover it and it will still grow fine. You just have to tweak your tool or whatever you're putting on there. I may not need tool at all. If I do just, let's say, zucchini in here, I can wrap this in a way to keep everything out of my zucchini and have it growing there. Well, you'll see as we get into it, because without tool, I wouldn't have a garden, okay? Live where I live? No. You may not have the challenges that I have, but that was the greatest thing in the world. You can keep everything out. Animals and insects, so that will work good. And the same thing here, it's small enough that I can still have control. So I would say 4 totes and 1 more on the chair, and we should be done with that. I don't know if I'll put any more geraniums like I had last time growing on the ground. We cleared all that out now. I'm not sure, because every time you give something cover, then I have more ground squirrels hanging around, and that's what I want to not have. And that's it. I'll clean that up later as I work. So I wanted to give you an update on that. I think this is going to be fun, and I think I'm going to grow far more because the chair garden is the best garden in the world. I'm going to have to tell you, cheapest, easiest way to set up. They last for years and years, and I get more food production out of here than anything else around the property. I just can't say enough good things, and it's just so rewarding to have someplace I can just walk over, set up my irrigation tubing, set up some tomato stakes, whatever I want, put tulle around, which I'm starting to take the tulle off. We're going to do tulle a little differently by colors this time, but keep in mind, I did check, and the company is still offering the turquoise tulle for under $10, 40 yards, 54 inches wide. 40 yards, that's not feet. So if you don't care about the color and you want to see it, go with that. If you do care about the color and you want it to blend in and your yard looks really pretty, go with green or black, and then it blends in with the plants. And then here, this is going to be great because this is going to have my dog kennels. It's in full sun. I know the hummingbirds are going to miss this because they've been hanging around here. They like sitting on the wire. Oh, there's two of them there. But the point is, some of you asked me, why didn't you put shade cloth on it and use it? We have a lot of ground squirrels that live in this hillside right here. And shade cloth would give them more protection from hawks that fly by. So they would just be under here feasting all day. And so I wouldn't be able to grow anything. I have enough when it comes to nature that I'm growing food and stuff in my bird garden, and so they can come in there and forage and pick through that. And though I still get tons of food and they get some, it's okay. I want something that belongs to me. And I think the big thing is, the more I work with the dog kennels and the more I set this up, there's going to be a lot of you, I guarantee you, who have had challenges gardening that are going to come back and say, you know what, maybe a $200 investment for a good dog kennel that will last a lifetime might make your gardening needs really easy and good too, because you'll be able to grow $200. You'll be growing $1,000+ of food in there every year, and you'll have that set up for life. So you'll see how we go and do it, or how I'm going to do it, because Gary has no idea how I'm going to set it up. But this is all going, and this should be gone, I think, in the next few days, and then we'll lay out the two and decide exactly the spacing I'm going to do. I'm not going to have cement on the bottom. I think it's just going to be some pavers around. If you had a cement, patio, you have it made. You do. But with me, I get ground squirrels that come through here and dig tunnels, and they would just tunnel up and have the best place in the world to come in, eat, forage, and then tunnel back and go back to their garden, and that's what I don't want. So we'll see how that goes. I think this is going to be great. So that's an update to show you that the raised beds that were sitting here are gone. And like I said, I can't cover it because I'm only going to make more place for the animals to come in and feed. And to cover this giant thing in wire, the way I would want to keep out insects as well as critters and things coming in, you're looking at, no joke, over $1,000, because you'd need the right wire, the right setup, where the dog kennel is going to be approximately just over $200 for each one. And I'm going to have the length. I could make it wider. I'm not going to right now because really quick, because I've had such great comments. Yes, I still have to get more cucumbers off. It is set up to have a peak. If you put him side by side, I'll lose that peak, and that's where I can walk. If I decide later, that would be fine. You would have to tweak the top and set it up different and get a whole different top. Right now, the quickest, fastest, easiest way to do it is set up the two, extend it, so it's going to be approximately 20 feet long, which is going to be longer than this when it's all done, because we're going to use the panels, and you'll see how we're going to use it. Still use the original roof, because the original roof should last, I would say, a good 2 years. And then I still have to tweak that. I have a few more things to do to keep everything out, though nothing's tried to get in. But I do have a little bit of wire on there, but I have more changes coming. So go ahead and ask your questions, because it gives me thoughts and ideas of what to do, and also to answer your questions or throw back what I'm doing. Because when you ask questions like, why didn't you cover this in shade cloth? because it wasn't the sun I was trying to block out. It was, I was going to make a tunnel where I thought I was going to have all kinds of squash hanging down here, but I just opened this up for a big feast for all my ground squirrels. And that's something that just isn't going to work here for me. But for Gary, he doesn't have as many because he doesn't have that hillside sitting there where all the squirrels are living. And we're not talking tree squirrels. We do have a few tree squirrels, but we have a ton of ground squirrels. And so do all my neighbors. So it doesn't matter. They come from everywhere. So this is going to be great. Look at the trees. Ooh, it's cloudy. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope I'm giving you ideas too, because I'm telling you, if you've got challenges set up correctly, I think this dog kennel that's made out of steel, nothing's getting in. No, for right now, you got dog and cat problems, you keep them all out. But it does need tweaking because my goal is to keep out insects, and yes, that means my pollinators, as well as critters. And I will hand pollinate anything that needs to be hand pollinated. And you go, well, they're not going to be able to grow anything. Are you kidding? All my herbs can grow in there. All my lettuce can grow in there, and bok choy and any greens I want. I don't need pollinators for that. The only thing I need pollinators for is the things that flower that really good, like your squash, your cucumbers, your watermelons, eggplant. But you know what? I can hand pollinate that. I don't need pollinators for tomatoes because I'm not blocking off the wind unless I wanted to do something for the winter and make it a greenhouse, and that would be a quick, easy fix. Probably cost me $3 to make a greenhouse out of that with Dollar Tree supplies. But I'm not planning on that. So I'm just right now, I just know that what I'm going to have in there, I can hand pollinate and grow food and not have to worry about anything getting to it. So we're almost there. Hopefully in the next few days, this will go. And this is going to be so much fun. So with that, have a wonderful day. I'm really excited with that. That's going to be so great, and another wonderful place to just clean up and grow. And don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. Yes, they're still working on the house that they've been working on. While I'm talking, they're hammering and pounding. For what now? 6 years? I've never seen anything like it. 6 years. I don't know. Anyways, have a great day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye.